Hi, Stitch Cuties. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Julie.
And together we're the mother-daughter duo of Stitches of Love. This video tutorial for you is a demonstration on how to do a basic satin stitch. Now, a satin stitch is a really great way to fill a large area quickly, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah, give a lot of pop to your hand embroidery.
Yeah, especially adds a little bit more color.
Oh, it does.
Like a condensation of color.
I like it. A condensation of color?
No, that's not.
Concentration of color.
Thank you. Concentration. After I said that, I was like, what am I talking about?
I was like, okay, I'll go with it. She's always right.
Okay, so let me just preface this by saying satin stitches have never been my favorite stitch to do.
Really?
No. So on these, I've learned to like it though, because with this sulky thread that's, one strand is 12.
It equals two strands.
It's 12 weight, one strand equals 2 strands of floss. So if I double that, that gives me 4 strands of floss, which gives me a good coverage. So I learned to double my thread.
So every time you do a satin stitch, you're using four strands.
Well,
two strands that equal 4.
2 strands of sulky that equals like 4. So as I pull this up, I've already placed this into where I want to start. So as I pull this up, you can see two strands of floss,
which is equivalent to 4 strands of
floss.
Okay,
so I pulled it up where I want it to be, where I want to start. So now I'm just going to come down here, and this is just a nice little rectangle, and you can see as I'm doing this that there's another one below that I've already done, just so you could look at it. And then you come back and forth. I find it easiest. It does take more thread, but I come back to the opposite side so that underneath it's
basically satin stitched underneath as well.
Yeah. And then I come right next to it again.
So when you say next to it, you mean just needle hole.
Very close, yes. And then again, I mean, it's very simple. It's easier when I would hold this closer to myself.
I make her be in the shot of the camera.
Yeah, since we're trying to show it to you,
So she's sitting not how she would sit when she's really sewing.
Yeah, and don't worry about this. I haven't gone all the way to the edge and covered the whole little black line. It doesn't really matter as long as you kind of, in this particular case, stay consistent.
You do want to, stay consistent so that it doesn't appear to be a pretty perfect rectangle when you're done.
And if your lines are, your fabric is smooth, your floss is smooth, you get a nicer look.
So if your threads twist at all, just sort of untwist them.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you something about hearts. Hearts can be difficult, but what I do with hearts is...
Let me make sure the heart's in the center for everyone, because I know this is going to be good.
What I do with hearts is I'll use this little pin. How's that? I would start a heart. I'd come up in the center and then down. And then I probably would come up over here and come down. I leave a space, and then I come back and fill in the space and fill in and fill in. That way it turns out better for me. You could still start with the tiny little stitch here and move to left to right or right to left. I find that particularly difficult. So I always start in the middle and come down and then come back up somewhere, just maybe
midway through.
Leave a needle space in between. And I find that gives me a little better look. And if my heart looks a little puffy, yay, that's good.
That's cute.
It's a cuter heart. So that's what I do with hearts. You may have to experiment. You can always
off in the corner, try something.
Off in the corner of your fabric, try it. With any of the stitches, you can try them, or you can make yourself a little practice fabric and then just keep it. So if you need to practice something, you can do that. And you can always draw on fabric with, on your practice fabric with a pen.
And draw a little heart and then stitch it and just see how you like your stitches.
Yeah.
So practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So maybe you will love satin stitches. I really don't mind them as much as I used to.
I've always liked them because I feel like I get a lot covered.
You do get a lot covered rather
I like
quickly.
that feeling. You feel
Like
done.
3 or 4 stitches, and we've covered that little toggle button.
Exactly.
But they're still not my favorite.
What's also great is no matter if you're doing a project from us here at Stitches of Love Quilting or any hand embroidery project you're doing, it's yours. So if you love a satin stitch, go crazy. Satin stitch as much as you
Satin
want.
stitch a lot of things.
Exactly. However, if you don't like a satin stitch and you just love a backstitch is my personal favorite. I would backstitch everything all day nonstop.
Yeah, like if you were doing this project, and I think on ours, I'm guessing I did.
You do lazy daisies right there.
Over these.
There's a video for that too.
Yeah, you could satin stitch those.
You could. So when you see a design, you can color it.
But you might like it. If you love satin stitch them.
Go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
It's your project. You can make it as you like.
No quilting police allowed.
Right. And whatever you do, it will be cute.
It will be cute.
So.
Yay. Well, thanks for those tips. That was helpful.
Good. And in the meantime, happy stitching.
And don't forget to, sorry, before we end it, we do have to do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you see this and all of our other video tutorials. This is a series of 13 total videos, 11 specifically with stitch tips and 2 all about the basics of notions and using the pre-printed hand embroidery design sticker. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of those as they come out.
And now you could go to your happy stitching.
And now happy stitching.